you truly make money when you buy, not when you sell the property. Don't be afraid to negotiate with these private money lenders, because they may say one thing, like these are our terms, but they still, like, they need our deals. Now we're doing good by the grace of God.
Right. Well, we got some great news today, actually. I'm not going to share it yet just because we want to make sure it all goes through before I say anything and jinx ourselves.
Yeah.
But fantastic news coming up for a later podcast.
So that's exciting. Welcome back to the Investor Unite podcast, where we talk all things real estate, business, and entrepreneurship.
If you are looking to ignite your real estate investing, then join us at Investors Unite. And on today's episode, it is Stefanie and myself. Once again, we are having another in-house podcast, so no guests today. But we wanted to go over a topic that, you know, is a goal that I think a lot of our younger audience should strive for, and that is how to accomplish getting 100 doors by the age of 27, which we set this goal. 27, I feel, is extremely realistic for where we currently stand. Yeah. But realistically, we might actually get there sooner than 27. So let's hope.
Yeah.
You know,
just pick up 100 units tomorrow.
Exactly. You never know. There's 242 units in Harrisburg available, so that's exciting. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and kind of break down how you can go about that, different terms of financing, different ways to find these deals and acquire them, do the acquisitions. And then also, I feel like that's not going to last us a full hour, so we're also going to do a little breakdown on our past two refinances that we just completed.
Yeah, just basically break down our strategy of like what our plan is to be able to hit that goal. Yeah. So you guys can kind of see us in full action, and this video actually holds us accountable to make sure we hit that goal by 27.
Oh, yeah.
And right now we both are 24 years old, so we got really less than 3 years, kind of around 3 years.
Yeah, because I just turned 24.
You just turned 24,
end of August.
Yeah.
Still, less than 3 years.
So we got some time, but it definitely speeds up. And right now we're at our current spot is 14 doors. That consists of 5 properties. We are under contract on 8. So that's exciting. Yeah. And that's just another 2 properties that's going to be added onto our portfolio as well. So what's 100 minus 14?
100 minus 14, 86.
Yeah. So 86. So we have to hit 86 doors.
Right. I mean, 2 are already under contract, so we'll do minus 22, which brings us to 78 doors. 78 doors.
So very doable. I mean,
definitely.
If you guys actually have any multifamily leads, even single family, like we're open to anything that has 4 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, and up.
Yeah. So if you're like a realtor or something, you have pocket listings, feel free to reach out. If you're just a everyday average Joe looking to sell your property, reach out. If you're a tired landlord, you know, reach out as well. Right. And you said something earlier where it's like, you know, that gives us time until we're 27 years old. I forget exactly who quoted this, and I don't even think this is the right quote at all. Yeah. But basically, the law is the longer you give yourself to do something, the more time it takes to actually accomplish that goal. So I feel like if we even chop it down from 27 to like 25, there's still a chance that we're capable of reaching that 100-door goal within that shorter time frame.
A year. Right. Well, really, like, I don't even know. What is that, 10 months?
Yeah.
Something like that.
May for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, give it a shot, right? Obviously, shoot for the stars.
Yeah.
Hopefully land on the moon.
So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys posted with that. But our main strategy, honestly, hasn't been, you know, just going to a bank, putting 20 to 25% down on.
That's too much money.
You know, and just recycling that process. We like to go into these deals with no money. Right? Yeah. We like to do that and then be able to have a payday on the back end of it, plus also get a good amount within cash flow. Right. So our main strategy has been the Burr strategy. And it's crazy because a lot of people, per se, like a lot of investors say that this doesn't work anymore, especially with the higher interest rates that we see. But honestly, for us, we've been doing pretty good with it, knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. I mean, everything's been going pretty smoothly. Obviously, we've had our hiccups, and we've done several videos on that. But I also think that it helps out that we started with practically zero capital to begin with. Yeah. So, and we always had this goal in mind of, you know, building our rental portfolio. So we kind of had to figure out a way to get into rentals with $0. And now that we've figured out that strategy and we've trialed and errored it, that we can successfully grow that continuously without having to bring capital to the table to close on these deals.
Most definitely. And with us like coming into it and purchasing with really $0 to our name, It's not like, not a lot of people do this, and we have less risk, just so you guys know that are watching. We're 24 and we still live with our parents, so don't have too much to worry about in regards to that aspect of things. But I mean, you can still do it. Just make sure, I would say, have some reserves aside just in case.
Better safe than sorry, of course. And admittedly, there's plenty of times where we had 0 reserves.
Right, and that scared us so bad. Like,
yeah, there's times where it's like, oh, that thing just went out. It's $8,000.
Right.
What's your account got? 0?
Like,
what's mine? 0?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Literally needed like 10K the next day or 11K the next day.
That's happened so many times. Like, it's actually insane. It's like, and I'll go home and like tell my mom, be like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I need like $16,000 by tomorrow.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
We figure it out.
It reminds me of this TikTok. Like, I'll never forget it. Yo, what do they say? I need 100K by tomorrow or something like that. There's a TikTok going off about it, but yeah.
Link down below. She'll find it.
Yeah. But yeah, so going all in with the BRRRR strategy.
So what is BRRRR?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's buy, then you renovate, you rent, you refinance, and then you repeat the process and just keep going. Right. So just diving deep with the buying side of things, like, you truly make money when you buy, not when you sell the property.
Yeah, agreed.
And with BRRRR, I mean, we're not selling it, we're keeping it, we're building the rental portfolio. But in regards to the refinance and that ARV amount, like, you do have to make sure you buy at a deep enough discount, just so you're getting a good cash out, but also a good
just making sure that you're still
$0
into the deal.
Yeah, because if you are able to make your ARV so high, you literally can choose your loan amount, basically.
Right. And if you guys go and watch the last podcast we just did, you'll notice that their buying strategy, Grant and Gavin, was completely different than actually how we got started. So they got started and they were able to successfully do a BRRRR off of finding a deal off the MLS, which it had a couple quirks, and they believe that's the reason that it scared the other investors away, but they were willing to take on that risk. Surprisingly, even though that was their first property. Ourselves, we've actually never bought anything off the MLS just because we see everything is priced at market value. And sure, like, if we go ahead and shoot, maybe like we see it pop up immediately, we give a solid offer, and it's just like, you know, very fast.
Yeah.
Right. Then there's possibly a chance of us being successful with that route. But as you stated, buying is the most important thing. That's where you're going to make your money on a deal, and even know if you actually have a good deal. So the only way that we've been able to do that is through off-market marketing, right? So reaching out direct to seller and trying to solve their issues, right? So a seller who's in distress, they have a property they don't want, or maybe it's just falling apart. You know, there's so many situations. It could be divorce, bankruptcy, foreclosure, anything, right? So that's kind of where we come in. And, you know, that's the same strategy as a lot of wholesalers, which obviously we still run a wholesaling company as well, fix and flip novations, that kind of thing. But if we're able to find these deals at enough of a wholesale price, then that's typically something that we're able to BRRRR and still be $0 into the deal and hopefully cash out at the end, because we are getting at such a discounted rate.
Right.
Yeah.
And we typically run our numbers as like a wholesale calculator, just about
pretty much
when they do the 70% or 75%. But then we also look on the back end of, all right, what's the rents? What's the mortgage amount going to be? What's the monthly payment on the mortgage going to be? The taxes, insurance, utilities, etc. Just to make sure we cash flow, because for us in particular, we want roughly a minimum of 300 per door. I know a lot of investors, they'll go for that 150, 200 a door, but we just want to make sure we're secure, because what do they say? It's not about how much you make, but about how much you take home.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we have that buffer there.
And just to clarify as well, a BRRRR does not always have to be $0 into the deal. A BRRRR, you can still leave $40,000 in the deal and it's still considered a BRRRR, right? So what we're kind of explaining here is a strategy called an infinite BRRRR, which means that the amount of money that we're putting into the deal, which is 0, like we stated, is constantly just being reused, right? So there's never a point in time where we have to leave a certain amount of capital into these deals and then find a way to build that capital back up and do it again, which a lot of other investors do. And if you have the money, do it, right? If you're able to get a good cash on cash return, then why not?
Yeah.
But for us, I mean, we didn't really have that option.
Yeah, and now that I'm thinking about it, the only money that we really put into the deal was just the earnest money deposit,
And the marketing, though. technically.
And the marketing per se.
Right.
But that's kind of two separate.
It is, because the marketing also goes for wholesaling, flipping.
Yeah, we just decide what we want to keep, which is nice.
Exactly. Right.
But yeah, our earnest money deposits are typically $100, which
sometimes less, sometimes more if they request it. Every now and then, if it's like a good deal and they're like, no, I want 500 or 1,000, we'll be like, okay.
No, I don't think we ever went over 750.
Yeah.
750 was our 2-unit.
I do remember somebody requested like 2,000 before, but we were able to negotiate with them and be like,
or maybe that was a Hershey Hotel deal.
Oh, was that one?
It could have been that one.
That might have been.
But that may have been 1,000.
Yeah.
But for the ones we kept, we never went over 750, and it's crazy because the ones that we have the most units on, so like the 6-unit we're working on, and then the 5-unit, those were both $100 EMD.
That's crazy,
Which EMD is earnest money deposit for you guys that don't know.
Yeah, and the way that we're actually able to acquire these properties is through private money, right? So that's the form of financing we go with. There's also hard money, which, you can still use, but typically with hard money, you have to put down typically a higher percentage, if I'm correct, right? Right.
But they also look at your credit score too.
Yeah, that too. And it's more of a corporate versus a private entity. So that's how we've been able to do it. We just build these relationships with private money lenders in our area. And we've had a couple on the podcast. So, if you are in need of one and you're in the central PA region, feel free to reach out to them as well. Most likely they can help you out too. And
don't be afraid to negotiate with these private money lenders, because they may say one thing, like these are our terms, but they still, like, they need our deals.
Of course.
That's how they need us to be able to make money. So sometimes you may have to go back and forth, just like you're going back and forth with the seller to be able to get, some good terms.
Right.
But now if you're a newer investor, you're not going.
Because you do have to have some kind of track record showing that you're already experienced enough to know how to operate one of these deals and do it successfully. And then doing so many of those over time, that will show the private money lender that, hey, I am capable of doing this. I know what I'm doing. I know what a good deal looks like. I have the right teams in place to successfully execute this deal. And then from there, there's a little wiggle room on some of their terms. It could be the amount of points down that they're requesting. Because some request 2, 3 points down. And if you don't have the capital for that, you can do 1 point. And as far as points go, that just means percentage. So 1%.
Of the purchase price.
Of the purchase price, right. And then typically, whenever we're actually going through and doing the financing for these deals, they'll cover 100% of the purchase, 100% of the rehab.
Honestly, that's just us. Yeah, we get
I know, blessed. We get favorable terms.
We get very blessed.
We do. And thank everyone for that. Yeah. Right? So, and then also closing costs. They'll also completely cover that, which that's something that you'll have to talk about with your private money lender.
Yeah. So like if you guys really want 100% financing for purchase price and closing costs and rehab and all that together,
make sure it's a good deal.
Number one, it has to be a good deal. But number two, you have to have a good relationship, and they do need to see a track record. So before we even went about, reaching out to these private money lenders, we've done wholesale deals before that. We've done a hotel, I believe, before that as well. We done an Ovation. I already had my first fix and flip done. Yeah. So they saw the experience. You're a licensed
realtor as well. And you have a good social media following where you educate a lot of our audience as well, separately from the podcast here. So it just shows, over everything that we've done over the 2.5 years now? That's what we're at?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Which doesn't sound like that much of time, that long of a period of time. But, we've done a fair amount in that 2.5 years.
Most definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So going through buying right. Yeah. Obviously, we stated direct to seller, and there's so many videos on how you can market to them. Yeah. And we've done some
videos
ourselves
on
as
that,
well.
So just check out our previous podcasts.
Right. So the next step is the renovation. Right. So how did we find our contractor? How did we build a good relationship with them? Know that they're giving us a good quote. Know what a good quote is, and all that.
Honestly, you just have to throw yourself out there and experience different contractors. Now, I got blessed with the good one with my first fix and flip, just because I partnered on that. Yeah. Kind of as like the other person was like mentoring me through the fix and flip, even though it was kind of different. Yeah. But he brought the contractor plus the lender, so was able to build that connection there. Turned out it was an amazing contractor that we used on other deals. And then as time went on, met other contractors from meetups. Yeah, meetups.
The bank.
The bank.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how we met that one.
Which one?
I don't want to say any names, but
Timmy?
No, I met him at a meetup.
Okay.
I think the other one I met through a referral. It was a referral from like Facebook Marketplace, possibly.
Sure.
So, I mean, there's so many different ways you can reach out to these people, but you want to make sure you have the good one because there's so many bad ones out there. Like, it's really hard to find a solid contractor.
Yeah. So when you're vetting these contractors or screening them, what would you ask or what would you be looking for?
Now, I want to see like their previous things that they done. So like there was a time when I went out to reach out to new contractors and I went to their projects of what they were working on. So like I drove out to Lancaster, I drove out to E-Town just to see like, okay, they're actually doing the job, they're actually working. I want to see if you have a team. Like, is it just you or do you have a whole team in place?
Yeah.
Are you a subcontractor where you're just focused on one specific thing, or are you a general contractor where you have basically you're managing the site and you have people in place for
you have all the subcontractors
drywall,
necessary,
for roofing, for
yeah,
correct. So I want to see that aspect of things.
You want to see the quality of their work,
their quality, their timeline, if they do things, because some contractors they want their money up front, which
that's a no-no.
Don't ever do that.
Don't ever do it.
Make sure you're doing it in draws. Typically draws of 3. A third up front, third halfway through, and the final amount towards the end once they're done. So you got to make sure you're on these people 24/7. You can't just say, okay, here's the job, work on this. I'll see you once it's finished.
Right.
No, you can't do that.
And how do you know if it's a good deal or not? Like whatever they're quoting you, if that's a fair estimate.
I would say always get a minimum of 3 bids.
Shop around.
Yeah, shop around for sure.
Definitely. Because those numbers will always come in different. There's times where we've had somebody quote us $14,000 versus like $40,000. And there's always those large spreads where it's like, well, why are you so cheap and why are you so expensive?
Yeah.
And possibly neither one of those are actually the person you want to go with. Typically, it's somewhere in the middle ground where it's like, okay, this person, I understand like they're going to charge a little bit more because they might have a higher quality of work that they're doing. They might use higher quality materials and they might be able to get it done in a shorter time. Right. So it's like, what's the 3 things?
It's price, timeline, and quality.
Right. So typically contractors always have 2 of the 3, which is just a known rule throughout all of real estate. And if you can find one with all 3, keep them in your back pocket. Don't let anyone know about it. Right, and I think we have a contractor who just about covers all 3. I mean, there are
quality could get a little bit better.
I was gonna say that too. The quality could be a little bit better, but then again, I mean, we always go back and inspect these properties, make sure it's up to our standard.
But quality is good. Like it's good, but it could be better.
Of course, I mean, it's not like a luxury house that they're working on. No. These are just rental apartments that
city homes.
Exactly. So making sure that it just doesn't fall apart on them and looks nice.
Now, another thing I do want to talk about, and this kind of messed us up, this was a little mistake that we had when we did our first novation, was labor and materials. When you're talking with the contractor, you always have to make sure you state like, okay, is this price only labor or is it labor and materials? Because you don't want to get screwed where you're stuck getting the materials and you're out of pocket. Like it just gets so confusing, and then you end up paying more.
Yeah. No, very true. Yep. So that goes. So that's buying, that's renovating, and now you're renting. Right?
Renting, yeah.
So that's kind of the scary part of being a real estate investor, or you want to own rental properties. It's being a landlord. Yeah. Because a lot of landlords, just over a period of time, you build up a certain amount of tenants, and it just becomes too overwhelming sometimes. You're getting those random calls all the time. This is breaking. This tenant's late on their pay. Their water bill was through the roof for some reason, right? You could run on into all kinds of scenarios. Right. So what's very important when you're going through and like screening a tenant? Yeah,
so I think Bigger Pockets basically was like, look in these people's cars just to,
that was one of their
just to see how they're living. But this actually reminds me of like when we went to get our first tenant. It was was doing the screening and everything like that. Like we made a post on Facebook, Zillow, the Section 8 website, literally everywhere, and we got a good amount of people coming in. And then it was just a waste of time doing showing after showing after showing, where we're like, nah, we got the wholesale business, we got, fixing and flipping stuff that we got to worry about. So we're not going to be able to scale both businesses at once. So we were like, let's just do an open house.
Right.
So we decided to do an open house.
So you can kind of set a time or a gap where all these people can come in and you don't have to individually schedule everybody's time. It's like you give that time. If they can make it, great. If they can't, better luck next time pretty much.
Right. And at that first open house, didn't really get too many people. But the second open house, we had someone, ended up signing her, Section 8, everything was good. But yeah, I mean, in the beginning, we didn't really know exactly what we were doing. We were just going for it, honestly.
And that's the other thing is even if they are Section 8, you're still capable of screening these people. Yeah. Where a lot of people think that once you're assigned a Section 8 tenant, it's mandatory. Like that's their house now, they can move in. But no, I mean, you're still able to go through and do a background check on them,
see if they had evictions,
prior evictions, see if they have any kind of criminal records. And you can still check their cars. You can talk to their previous landlord.
You can go to their house.
Go to their house. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable, right?
You went to the one lady's house.
Which one did I go to? Oh,
the two girls.
Yeah, I did do that, and I was not pleased with what I saw.
You kept knocking. They didn't let you in, right?
Nah, they didn't let me in, but I just saw the back porch and peeked through the window. I said, that's enough. I don't need to see anymore.
You can go to the extreme of that, but
and it was our first property, so.
Yeah, we didn't know exactly what we were doing, and
we're just taking tips from everywhere we could.
Yeah, right? We can't do that for every single property. It just becomes time consuming.
It takes way too much time.
So now our strategy is, we do the application, everything like that, but we've been connected with a company where we help refugees, which has been great. So we don't really handle the tenant process too much.
I'd say we definitely started leaning towards the refugees. Not only do they pay as well as Section 8, if not a little bit better, but it's also guaranteed income. There's a little, I don't know, it's fair to say. The tenants a lot of times don't even speak English, right? So they all go through a caseworker. And so you're not actually getting all those calls all the time from the tenant complaining about whatever it is, right?
The caseworker is like the middle person
right, so the caseworker actually handles a majority of these issues that arise because she's kind of the one that's in charge of all this now.
Yeah.
It's like almost a property manager.
I won't say her name, but shout out to her.
Yeah, no, I love her. She's
amazing.
Fantastic woman. Yeah. She's helped us out so much. And then also, so yeah, anytime that there isn't actually a major issue, it's just her who's contacting me, which we have a fantastic relationship.
Yeah.
And she is very straight.
Like, buy more proproperties, buy more.
All the time. Yeah. She's like, I need more. I have 1,000 people coming next week. Like, where are the houses? Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm trying.
Let us know.
Yeah, if you got houses, let us know.
Yeah. So everything's been good with that. And I went to, because we had the appraisal today for a different property, and I went there. Cleanest unit ever.
Yeah, a lot of these refugees
so clean.
Really respect the properties that they live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good.
They're coming from like a third world country over there, which obviously they're not as privileged as many of us Americans are.
But I will say it depends on like the country.
What country they're coming from.
It depends on the country because
it's true.
I don't even know if I want to dive into.
No, we don't gotta get into that because we'll piss some people off.
Okay, so Section 8, we love Section 8 as well. Being able to help.
That's another thing I wanted to touch on.
Go ahead.
As far as the refugees, there's only one inspection in the very beginning. Not even a real inspection. It's not like inspectors coming in to check absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And Section 8 is very strict with their inspections.
Right.
Like it could be the most minimal thing. There's paint chipping here. That window has a small air leak getting through.
We haven't had nothing too crazy because we really renovate our properties before we rent them out.
Right. We're not slumlords.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we wouldn't live there, we wouldn't have someone else live there.
Right. But still, even if you don't want to go Section 8 or refugees, just because you have your concerns, which are very fair, then market tenants, you're still able to go through and do this full screening process and make sure you are taking your time. And you might be burning through money for a couple months till you find the appropriate person. Yeah. But I promise you, it's going to save your ass in the long run. Right. Save your butt in the long run.
Yeah. So.
All right. So that's pretty much rent and then refi, right?
Refinance. So we kind of touched base on this part, our last podcast, basically talking about never go through mortgage brokers. Mortgage brokers are
We've
horrible.
had a horror story from mortgage brokers. And I'm going to say that our last refi was less than $1,000 for the property. Our one where we went through the mortgage broker was $29,000 and some change for that refi. So a huge difference. And this will completely change all your numbers.
Yeah.
Your cash on cash return, just in case you do have to leave money in the deal. Your buying power for your next property. So many factors that play into it. So if you can go straight through the federal credit union or the bank, do that.
Do it, yeah.
Yeah. But
basically it for that, honestly.
I would still definitely recommend still shopping around though. Like reach out to several federal credit unions, several banks as well, and everyone has different terms, different rates. And a lot of these people will promise you a certain rate, but by the time you actually get the quote, it's not going to be what they promised. Right. So, don't just pick one off of somebody's word in the beginning. Wait till you actually have the correct documentation in place to actually make your final choice there.
Yeah, and make sure it's also a fixed rate. Like, don't get adjustable. Sometimes, with commercial loans, they'll fix it up to 5 years, and then it's
an arm after that.
Yeah, after that. But, yeah, just make sure you're getting fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. And then repeat.
Yeah.
Right? So, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, that's it. Repeat it. Repeat the process. Go get some more properties and make some more money.
Absolutely. So, the topic of this whole thing, great we explained BRRRR because that's the strategy we use.
Yeah.
But why 100 doors? What?
I think that's just a good standpoint. What's 100 times 300?
30,000.
30,000. So 30,000 times 0.70.
30,000 times 0.70. That would be 21,000?
21,000 divided by 3.
21,000 divided by 3 is 7.
7. So that's 7,000. That would be, so if we hit that by 27, that would be 7,000
a month
for you, me,
and the
company. Yeah. So the way we break it down, guys, is we'll do, so whatever gross profit comes in, we'll take 30% right off the bat, set that into a tax account. And honestly,
well, I will say we're not doing this yet.
Yeah. So we're not doing this right now.
This is the plan.
This is the plan.
If everything goes right.
This is the strategy.
If everything goes right. This is how we pay ourselves.
But typically they say, you shouldn't even have to pay taxes once you're...
based off your depreciation. Yep.
But then again, we can still have a tax account just to be safe. And then once the year goes up and they say, okay, you just have to pay this or you don't have to pay anything at all, then we can utilize that money for marketing or we can pay ourselves more or whatever the case may be.
Give a bonus to the employees, buy more investment properties.
Go on an employee trip.
Use it for whatever you want.
A team trip.
It's a write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, our main goal was 100,000 per person, which we're just building up. We're just building up. So the thing is too, I feel like at the pace we're growing.
Wait, so sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if we want 100,000 per person, we're averaging 300 per door, and so that's 300,000 a month. Actually, it's more than that after taxes.
Yeah.
But let's just use round numbers. So let's say it's 300,000. How many doors? That's 1,000 doors.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person.
If 100
so wait,
is 30,000.
Then do 1,000 times 300.
It's 300,000. 1,000 doors.
300,000. So it'd be more than 1,000.
Am I right? Give me my phone, please. I just want to make sure these numbers are accurate. Thank you. By the way, I don't know if y'all saw her, but that was my sister. Absolutely love her, and this is the first time she's joined us on a podcast.
Shout out to Anna.
Love Anna. Clap it up. All right, so 1,000 times 300. That's 300,000. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So yeah,
but it would need to be more than that.
Right, because of taxes.
So do 1,200.
Well,
so if it was 1,200 units.
Oh, 1,200. Okay. Oh shit.
1,200 times 3.
360 times 0.70.
Oh, so it would have to be even more. Try 1,500 units.
1,500 times 300 equals times
0.70.
That's right, 315.
Okay, so roughly 1,500 units to be able to do 100,000.
Right.
And just from rentals. That's just from the rentals business. That's not even counting fix and flips, wholesales.
And it's very doable. And I truly only have the expectation that we're going to be able to accomplish this in the near future simply because of our one guest, Ryan.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Ryan. Yeah.
Love Ryan to death. Let us drive his G-Wagon after the podcast. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And check out his company, SPG Capital, because they're nothing but a blessing.
Yeah. And if you guys need lending, go to his podcast. I forget what it's titled. Something.
1,600 doors in 10 years.
In 10 years.
Something like that.
And let them know that we sent you. You found found out about them through Investors Unite.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And
Hopefully
that's probably gonna build a
deal or something.
Right, exactly. That's probably gonna build a better trust with him as well.
Yeah.
Knowing that you guys were associated with us, because we have a good relationship now.
Yep.
But yeah, so we need 1,500 doors. He hit 1,600 in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And I think we might have a better start than what.
So what were we at? So like our first year of getting rentals was last year. We started in May, got the 2 unit plus the 5 units, so that was 7. And then we also had Sylvan, but that wasn't, we were deciding if we wanted to sell or.
Yeah.
But we bought it still last year, so that's what? That's 7, that's 8. So we got 8 units. And then we got the 2 unit on top of that. That was, what was that? When did we get the 2 unit? November. So that's 10 right there. And then before we even hit a full year, we had another 4 units. So we hit 14 within a year. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
We scaled pretty fast.
We did. We're doing something. We're doing something right.
So
anyways, 1,500 doors, get to 100,000 a month, which, you're living pretty comfortable at that point.
Yeah. But let's talk about our 2 previous refis we just done.
Yeah.
So you guys know we're actually doing these deals. We don't just talk about it, but we, put in the work. We actually do it. So a refi we just did recently was on a single family house.
Yeah, our only single family.
Yeah, let's break it down.
Okay. So we had purchased this property back in October of last year.
$60,000.
For $60,000. And then we actually wholesaled it from our one company to the other for $62,000. So there's a little $2,000 profit per se.
Yeah.
And then from there, we had several contractors come in, all give us their estimates. And this was our first time using.
Yeah.
I think so. I know that he was working on one of the units at the 5-unit building. I don't know if that happened before or after.
I believe.
After? Okay. So yeah, this was a brand new contractor, and this was the biggest rehab that we've had to date. Not the most expensive one, but.
What was it, $30,000 rehab?
30. It was quoted at 33 with labor and materials.
Okay.
Ended up coming in at 32, so we're actually a little under budget, and timeline was insane. I remember I went somewhere. I did something. I was gone for like a week. I came back, and the house was almost done. I was like, there is absolutely no way.
Yeah.
And they're all Hispanic, so they flew through that shit.
They're quick. They're really fast.
They're good. They're good. Maybe that's where the quality lacks a little bit, but I will say this property ended up beautiful.
And we were trying to save money from the jump because we started the clean out, and then I was like,
I remember I went over there.
Ain't no way we doing the rest of this. We called them. We were like, how much is it for you guys to do the rest? And literally,
I broke my stepdad's hammer that day.
Did you?
Yeah, I snapped it in half.
Oh shoot! Because I remember my family came, and then I was just throwing stuff out the window, and you know, just to ramp up the process. But the next day they came, and I was like, dang, they're working fast.
Yeah, they already had like it all demolished.
Yeah.
Flooring coming in. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah. So everything with the rehab was great. The only downside I would say is we waited a little bit longer. To order the kitchen cabinets. Yeah,
this was our first time ever going through and actually ordering a kitchen. We never did this before. And we were recommended one place, which I will say, they were fantastic. You know, they helped us. We sat down with them. They gave us a step-by-step plan, helped us pick out what cabinets we're going to use, helped us pick out what countertops we're going to use. They did all the measurements. They laid out on like a 3D print, like what it would look like and where we wanted things to be. That gets all technical after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very cool process, and it did take I want to say like 2 to 3 weeks for the cabinets to actually come in and the countertops as well. But you know, everything came perfectly. Knock on wood, we didn't have any hiccups there, and that was like the one thing that was holding us back. From actually being completed.
So after dealing with the rehab, I think we ended with middle of December, just because we were waiting on the kitchen cabinets. Then we were like, we're going to list it because our main strategy was to do a fix and flip with this one and put it back on the market. Turned out that it just didn't work out. So this house was sitting from the end of December all the way to March until we didn't get a tenant until March.
Yeah.
So we're literally losing money on this.
And the issue with that is location. The location of this property, it's not in a fix and flip area. It is in a rental market.
Yeah,
right?
and we realized that after the fact.
We did. And we knew that there was a little bit more risk involved coming into this because we didn't have very good comps to go off of. Like, there weren't really any fully renovated properties in this vicinity that had sold recently. So we're like, well, based off the square footage of this one, it looks like it could appraise for about this much.
Yeah.
We can ask this much and just cross our fingers, hope for the best, right? And we were in a capital crunch at this point. Like, we were lacking. We were down bad. We had like another project going on that was another duplex over on 6th Street.
We had a 4-unit going on where we couldn't even take funds to start the project on the 4-unit because our lender wanted us to put some money in first before we request a draw.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can't even request a draw to move forward with this. So it delayed everything.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to bring up, actually. And the reason that we now kind of wholesale these properties to our other company initially, because that gives us some capital to start. So obviously our contractors, they need their very first draw before they actually do any work, right? So if you were to go through and let's say at the initial price, like we got it for $60,000 and we borrowed exactly 60 plus rehab, that would not leave us any money to actually pay the contractors for that initial draw or the initial fee. So with wholesaling it to our other company and just giving us that small margin, you know, it gives them enough money to go in there and at least get started. So then we can actually show our lender, like, hey, we do have some skin in the game. You know, we have progress going on in this property, some rehab's getting done. Can I please have another draw?
Yeah.
Right. So
shout out to our mentor, Dom, for
that's
telling
another
us
tip
about that. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, what were you saying before that?
Oh,
we were broke.
numbers.
We were broke.
Yeah, no, we were broke. What else is new?
That time.
Right?
But now we're doing good by the grace of God.
Right. Well, we got some great news today, actually. I'm not going to share it yet just because we want to make sure it all goes through before I say anything and jinx ourselves.
Yeah.
But fantastic news coming up for a later podcast.
So that's exciting.
It is exciting. So purchased at 60, wholesaled it to our other company for 62, got our bidding for the contractors. They quoted us at 33, so we'd be all in at 95.
Yep.
Right?
96. I think we're all in at 96, but same thing.
Okay.
And then, we ended up waiting. I don't know. We waited so long to refinance, and I think I know why. Because we had so much going on at this time. This was springtime of this year, and it was just super hectic. It's crazy how things can change just in a couple of months, honestly. But it was just very hectic that time where just from us putting so much money back into the company, it just messed with our credit scores. So it's like, we don't even want to refinance right now just because
we're not going to get favorable terms.
Right. You know, even though we go with the DSCR loan, they still want to look at your personal credit just to make sure.
Yeah.
If the company doesn't pay, they're going to come after you.
Yeah.
So that's why it kind of took us so long in that period just to get that refinance. But we ended up starting the refinance process, I want to say, the beginning of September, and then decided to go with the local credit union that some people recommended. Turned out to be an amazing process. Got the appraisal, which that came to around $600. It was $600 or $650.
Yeah.
Paid for that. 2 weeks later, they're like, you're good to go.
Right. So we did have plenty of hiccups with that property, like in terms of trying to sell it, but we'll skip past that. And yes, I mean, it appraised actually at the number we needed it to.
145.
Well, actually, we didn't even need it to go that high necessarily, just based off of the 70% LTV. But at that point, we were actually able to pull a little bit of money out.
Yeah, so
that's always a good feeling.
Appraised for 145. The rent is $1,900, and our all-in was $96,000. We walked away with a little over $5K with that one.
Right, and the only reason the rent is $1,900 on this, because I know it's going to sound high for a property that only is worth $145 after a huge rehab, is because it's 5 bedrooms.
Yeah, and it's in the city. I feel like city properties, it's great with cash flow.
It is, absolutely. Appreciation's not going to be the best with this one, but I mean, it's a solid property. You know, we have a long-term loan on it. We have good tenants that are in there. They're paying every single month on time without any questions. And every time I go over there, there's still no furniture somehow.
I honestly don't know. Like, they literally have no furniture. Like, the whole first floor, it looks like how we
sold it to. Not even sold it, but rented it out to them.
Yeah. And it's not like they don't want furniture. Like, they still have beds and stuff like that, like on the second floor and third floor. But yeah, I don't know.
They're still making that
They
payment.
keep it clean, though.
Absolutely.
It's really nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, you want to dive into
so
our 2-unit?
Yeah, real quick. So the loan amount on that one came to 110, right?
Yeah.
Right. So then after paying off the 96,000, 110 minus some refi fees, I think we walked away with.
Yeah, it said a little 5K.
Yeah, was that the 5K or was that the 14K?
No.
I feel like that might have been the 14K.
No. 6th Street was the 14K.
No, what was our because we got a loan amount of 117 on that.
Was it?
Yeah. 110 and 117.
I don't know.
But what was our all in on the?
Because we literally did these refinances at the same time.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know.
Anyways.
But I just know our interest rate is 7.5 for both properties.
Right. So, what is our monthly payment on that on Sylvan?
One is that's $816.
I know they're both around the same amount.
Yeah.
Right. So $816, and that does not include taxes and insurance, just because this specific credit union.
Which is so annoying.
It is.
Yeah.
That's just a payment we don't have to worry about. But it is what it is. They gave us great terms, and I can't argue with it.
Oh no, I can't. Yeah, can't argue at all. No, but it's just something we just have to set up.
Yeah.
On auto pay or something.
Right. So let's just add in taxes and insurance plus a $116 mortgage. We're all in for like a little less than $1,100, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're around cash flowing like $800.
It's like $800 a door, which is fantastic, especially for a single family.
Right.
Right. And I will say, like, we stated obviously in the beginning of this that our average is $300 per door. It's not. It's more than that.
No, minimum.
Right. So that's our goal on any property we buy. We want to shoot for $300 a door. Mm-hmm. And if that rule applied and we were averaging 300, we would need 1,500 properties in order to make that 100,000 per month for myself, Stefanie, and the company.
Yeah, but like when we're running numbers on new properties, we always want to make sure it's a minimum of 300 a door. If it's not, then we just can't buy it.
I'll say our average per door is probably around 500 a door.
Roughly.
So we're able to cut that 1,500 number almost, 2/3 of that. Mm-hmm. So that's exciting.
Yeah, most definitely.
Less work, more money.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And now this other deal we want to talk to you guys about is a 2-unit where basically texted this lead, got the deal for $78,000.
Yeah.
And we didn't wholesale this one to ourselves, I don't believe.
I don't think so.
So we just bought it, $78,000. This is the one we did do a $750 EMD and then got the process started with a contractor. So that process, it was a different contractor. They were going through some things, so it took a lot longer than we wanted it to. Yeah. And we were thinking about doing the work ourselves to save some money because we were so tight. Just to make the numbers work, we were super tight. Yeah. So we were thinking about maybe we can paint ourselves or, whatever the case may be. And you didn't even see this property once we got it under contract. I think you saw it after we bought it, actually.
I saw it, after we closed on it.
After we closed
Before we started any rehab, but after we closed on it.
So
I just took your word for it.
Yeah. I was like, I initially thought we could do 2 bedrooms on the first unit because with rentals, you want to make sure
set up, it looks like you almost could.
You could, but like it would just be too tight.
It's not efficient.
Yeah. So we ended up, the first floor was basically an efficiency, and then we turned it to a 1-bedroom. Mm-hmm. And then the second floor was already 2 bedrooms, basically. Kinda. We made it 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms. So, second floor rent we get $1,250. Mm-hmm. First floor is $1,100.
Yep.
And we started on this project back in November. End of November last year.
This one took a while.
Didn't get completed until March? End of March.
It might have been later.
And this was only a $25,000 rehab.
Yeah, it wasn't a major rehab.
No, not at all.
Although we did have some big things break on this, actually.
Oh my goodness, we had a pipe leak.
3 times.
Yeah, so many times.
It was like a new pipe, and then the guy fucking drilled a nail through it, and it just
kept going. And
then it leaked out. Yeah, I got a text from this property, I think, on 3 different occasions. It's like, my ceiling is leaking water. I'm just like, oh no. That's not good.
So this one, I came to a point, I was like, maybe we should just sell it,
I was on the same lines with this one.
Yeah, but now it cash flows, so I'm
now we're
happy
doing good
about it.
Yeah, right. So combined, we're generating $2,350 a month from this property, and once again, our mortgage is like $860.
No,
$880.
$836, I believe.
$836.
Yeah, around that.
Plus taxes and insurance, which still isn't that high, honestly.
Like the 2 units have been insane for us.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're cash flowing $1,100, $1,200 a month on this property.
And that, I believe it was that one. We'll have to look back, but I believe it was that one. We cashed out like a little over $14,000.
Yeah. So between these two that we just discussed, one of them was a little over $5,000, and one was a little over $14,000 that we collected after the cash out refi.
Yeah, same day closings.
Same day. It was nice. I got both those checks. I was like, it's like 20 grand in my hand right now. Yeah, I like that feeling. And guess what?
Tax free.
Tax free.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
So that's why we enjoy the BRRRR strategy, and that's our main strategy into scaling from the 14 doors we have now to 100 doors, and then, you know, God willing, 1,500 doors, you know, whatever he has in store for us.
Hopefully it's as much as we can possibly do.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, overall, you know, we are on the right track. The trajectory is looking great.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was going to say, I think we're definitely going to continue with the same strategy we have been doing. There are a couple things that we switch up in terms of financing, such as we briefly discussed this on one of the prior podcasts, not last one. It was like 2 or 3 ago.
Yeah. But
versus actually using private money and going through to do the BRRRR strategy, we actually skipped a lot of that step by getting
let's not even say that yet. Y'all got to stay tuned. Once that deal closes, we can talk more about that, because that is a really smart strategy.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Y'all got to like this video.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, they got to like this video. I know we don't have as many subscribers, but if we get 20 likes, then we can tell y'all about this crazy strategy that no one else is doing. It's very creative, that we heard from a friend, and we saw someone that actually did it. So we're like, we got to take full action on this.
Right. And I will say, I've watched almost every Bigger Pockets episode ever released.
They never talk about this.
Never heard of this strategy one time.
Yeah.
So you guys are in store for something cool.
Yeah.
Right?
If y'all get us to 20 likes and subscribe.
Yeah. And 20 likes is easy,
Maybe
bro.
1,000 subscribers. We're at 936 right now.
936. Yeah. Grow it up. Grow it up.
Grow it up.
What the fuck does that mean?
Grow up.
Grow up. Hit the subscribe button.
Grow up, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything we have in store for today.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to continue to keep you updated with our progress, let you know of any more doors that we are able to collect throughout the time. And if you have any that you don't want any longer, you know, please feel free to send them our way.
We'll take over those tough tenants.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to say something else, but I forgot. I don't know. But yeah. Comment down below your strategy. Like, how are you guys acquiring these properties? We do look into seller financing as well. So a lot of deals will run as seller financing
and
options.
Subject to.
But it's just been working out with BRRRR for us. So
it has.
Yeah.
I feel like we're able to get those properties at a steeper discount just because we are coming with all cash versus if we have seller finance, there's still a certain amount of risk with the seller.
Yep.
And a lot of them are going to then want a higher asking price in return. So if you're able to come in with that all cash offer, sometimes you can get a better discount. Yeah. It depends on the seller.
But hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, like I said, make sure you give it a thumbs up, go subscribe. And with that being said, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.